Let me take a deep breath, because what happened to Harry and Meghan this weekend was the kind of Hollywood drama you cannot make up. The kind that has people whispering behind champagne glasses, pretending to check their phones just so they don't make eye contact, and literally sidestepping. A photographer is like, it's some sort of red carpet minefield. And the worst part? It was all happening right in front of the couple who once thought Hollywood would be their safe space, their kingdom, the world that would welcome them with open arms and camera flashes. But instead, it was cold. Ice cold. Word started spreading even before the event was over that Meghan and Harry were getting politely avoided by the A-listers they've spent years trying to orbit. Imagine walking into a room expecting fanfare and warmth, but the smiles are tight, the interactions quick, and every celebrity magically remembers they have something urgent on the other side of the room the moment they see you approaching. That was the energy the Sussexes walked straight into at the Baby 2 Baby Gala in West Hollywood. They came dressed for a comeback moment. Meghan glowed the way she always does when she knows cameras will be there. Harry stood beside her like he was ready to lean into the Hollywood crowd and reclaim relevance. But something was off the minute they stepped inside. Instead of leaning in, people leaned away. Instead of forming a circle around them, people spread out. Instead of excited chatter, there was that awkward, polite murmur people use when they're trying not to be obvious. Guests who were once friendly now kept a safe distance, especially when they realized where the cameras were pointed. It was as if standing next to Harry and Meghan had suddenly become hazardous, like one photo with them could send your career into a PR wildfire. And honestly, some people truly believe that. Because insiders didn't mince words. Being seen with the Sussexes right now is not good for business. When Hollywood insiders, the same ones who normally adore drama and the press, say that, the room temperature has dropped to below freezing. One guest even said the words that sent shockwaves through the industry. The Sussex brand is radioactive. Radioactive. Hollywood is dramatic, but not that dramatic unless they mean it. And this time, they truly meant, "Is it?" And just when the awkwardness couldn't get worse, the timing made everything 1,000 times messier. Back in the UK, it was Remembrance Day, a solemn day, a deeply respected tradition, a moment people expect the royals or anyone tied to them to acknowledge. But Meghan arrived at the Hollywood Gala glammed up without even wearing a simple poppy pin. No symbol, no nod, nothing. And social media back home went wild. Commentators lit up the internet calling her behavior tone-deaf, insensitive, disrespectful, pick your word, they used it. That glaring contrast between a serious national moment and Meghan's red carpet sparkle was all people needed to tear her apart online. But their night wasn't over, not even close. After the gala, they tried to pivot. They headed straight to Kris Jenner's massive, star-studded 70th birthday bash hosted at Jeff Bezos's jaw-dropping Beverly Hills mansion. And you would think that would be the place where the couple could redeem their social standing, right? I mean, it's Kris Jenner's party. Everyone wants to be noticed there. Everyone wants to be photographed. Everyone wants a moment of fame. But somehow, even there, Meghan and Harry found themselves floating awkwardly around the edges of the room. Kim Kardashian, Oprah, Bezos' own inner circle, they were polite but distant, welcoming but not warm, smiling but not engaging. Meghan tried approaching familiar faces, people who once cheered her on and were happy to be associated with her. But the energy? Tight, measured, carefully controlled. Not because people disliked her, but because everyone was hyper-aware that one wrong photo, one wrong angle, one wrong interaction could turn into an online storm. Brands are watching everything right now. Celebrities have contracts worth millions on the line. Management teams monitor every move their clients make. And with Meghan and Harry wrapped in controversy after controversy, from royal drama to Netflix drama to media drama, no one wants to inherit problems that don't belong to them. A Hollywood PR veteran summed it up perfectly. The Sussexes crossed the line from fascinating to exhausting. Ouch. Once they were seen as misunderstood victims, now opportunists. People who have turned pain into PR currency, and not in a subtle or graceful way. Hollywood loves reinvention, but it hates inconsistency. And the Sussexes have dipped into that well one too many times. The contradictions have piled up. They want privacy but chase visibility. They talk compassion while living in a mansion. They criticize the royal family while leveraging royal titles for deals. It's become harder and harder for Hollywood to defend them without risking backlash. And even Meghan's old contacts, the ones who helped resurface her Hollywood identity after she left the firm, are slowly pulling away, not out of anger, but strategy. Hollywood stands by people when the headlines are good. But when the headlines become chaotic, celebrities step back, quietly, softly, carefully, exactly like what happened that night. And if Meghan thought the online outrage over the poppy was bad, royal commentator Kinsey Schofield poured gasoline on the fire when she publicly called Meghan's choice pathetic, disappointing, and unapologetically tacky. That wasn't commentary, that was a mic drop. And people amplified it everywhere. The thing is, every time Meghan and Harry show up somewhere, the outcome seems to follow the same predictable pattern. They anticipate excitement, applause, attention. They hope their presence will dominate headlines in a flattering way. But instead, it's always awkward energy, awkward silence, awkward distance, and then negative press. It's like they're running a PR strategy from 5 years ago in a world that has moved on. Hollywood sees everything. It sees when someone is trying too hard. It sees when someone is chasing visibility instead of earning it. And it sees when a brand is slipping out of relevance. For Meghan, this must be a painful reminder that fame isn't a permanent crown. It's a fragile one that can crack in a heartbeat when public perception turns. Even Harry seems lost these days, caught between worlds that no longer truly want him. He isn't embraced by the royal inner circle anymore. And now Hollywood, the place where they thought they'd rebuild their empire, is shutting its golden gates too. Call it karma, or call it public fatigue. Either way, it's happening. Celebrities are stepping away. Events that once welcomed them now keep them at arm's length. Not because Meghan and Harry are bad people, but because they've become bad publicity. And no one in Hollywood risks that voluntarily. Being radioactive in a world built on image is the harshest reality check. And now, even showing up to events feels like another chapter in their growing list of social misfires. All they wanted was recognition, relevance, visibility, but they walked out with nothing. No photos, no buzz, no allies, just whispers and headlines they definitely didn't want. But for a couple who built their entire post-royal identity on being seen, being publicly iced out by Hollywood, the very kingdom they chose over royal duty, might just be the cruelest blow yet. And honestly, the craziest part is how their attempts to reclaim the spotlight keep backfiring in the most embarrassing ways. Everywhere they go lately, they walk in with that confident we're still relevant aura, but the room's energy drops the moment they step inside. It's like everyone can feel the tension before they even make eye contact. The novelty has faded. The fascination has evaporated. And what's left is this strange mix of awkward curiosity and silent avoidance, the kind where people pretend to be mid-conversation just so they don't get pulled into a photo with them. Because let's be real, Hollywood is shallow, but it's not. Clueless. It knows exactly when someone's value is slipping. And Meghan and Harry's value right now, it's not trending in the direction they wanted. Every public sighting feels less like a comeback and more like a warning sign. A reminder of how fast fame can turn when the public feels oversaturated or misled. At the Baby to Baby Gala, they genuinely believed they were making a grand return. Meghan's outfit screamed spotlight. Her smile was polished and perfectly timed. Harry, as usual, hovered beside her with that painfully practiced look of supportive discomfort. You could practically see the thought bubble above his head that said, please don't let this be weird. But it was weird. Behind the forced smiles and half-hearted greetings, insiders said the whole vibe was stiff. Polite nods, stiff body language, quick little waves before walking away, those are not signs. Popularity in a room full of celebrities who normally sprint toward the camera. People were calculating, people were cautious. No one wanted to become the next headline just by standing too close. And Meghan felt that shift. It was written all over her face. Every time someone stepped aside, every time someone gave a quick excuse to move away, every time a photographer didn't raise their camera, she felt it. And when they left that event thinking the next stop, Kris Jenner's mega birthday bash at Bezos' mansion, would be their redemption, oh, the universe had other plans. They walked into one of the most influential rooms in the world, a place where billionaires and A-listers network like it's breathing, and suddenly the energy dipped again. Not dramatically, but noticeably. People tightened their circles. Conversations conveniently wrapped up as they approached. Everyone's eyes flicked to the nearest camera as if checking angles, because they knew one selfie with the Sussexes could turn into a brand nightmare. Brand managers don't play games. They monitor who their clients stand next to, who they smile with, who they're photographed alongside. And right now, Meghan and Harry are associated with controversy, contradictions, inconsistency, and what executives quietly phrase as unpredictable PR outcomes. Translation: messy. And nobody with multi-million-dollar deals wants to stand next to Messi. Even Oprah kept her distance. Not rude, just very strategically busy. Kim Kardashian, polite, but nowhere near eager. Bezos' circle, friendly, but clearly uninterested in more than surface-level courtesy. It wasn't hostility. It wasn't cruelty. It was self-preservation. In Hollywood, survival is about staying ahead of the narrative, and the Sussex narrative is currently a storm cloud no one wants to stand under. And while all this is happening, Meghan keeps trying to work the room with that familiar confidence she's relied on for years. She tries connecting with those old Hollywood figures who once saw her as a rising power player. But people have changed. Alliances shift, and sympathy is not a long-term currency in this industry. You're only as valuable as your current headlines, and their current headlines are not the kind that sell brand deals. Some people who once boosted her image are slowly stepping back, not out of pettiness, but out of smart career strategy. Hollywood doesn't cut people off dramatically. It quietly drifts away, slowly stops replying, slowly stops inviting, slowly stops posing for photos. And Meghan and Harry are now on the receiving end of that silent drift. What makes everything worse is the glaring contradiction in their public persona. They beg for privacy while attending every A-list event. They talk authenticity while promoting everything as a PR moment. They condemn the fame game while playing it harder than ever. And people see that. Hollywood sees everything. And once people feel you're not being real, it's over. Harry looks more lost with each appearance. He's stuck in this confusing middle ground, not royal enough for the monarchy, not Hollywood enough for Los Angeles. He's a man floating between two worlds, belonging to neither, trying to find relevance in places that no longer know where to put him. Meanwhile, Meghan is desperately trying to revive her star power, but the harder she tries, the more unnatural it looks. And the public notices when someone is forcing a moment instead of earning it. There's a fine line between ambition and desperation, and whether she realizes it or not, people are whispering that she's stepping into the wrong side of that line. By the end of the weekend, the truth was impossible to ignore. They didn't walk out with buzz or headlines or love. They walked out with silence, and silence in Hollywood is worse than criticism. Silence means nobody cares enough to engage. It means relevance is slipping. It means the room is moving on without you. And for a couple who has built their entire post-royal existence on being seen, being talked about, being spotlighted, this kind of cold shoulder from the exact world, they sacrificed everything to join. That hits deeper than any tabloid could. They wanted to remind everyone that they still mattered, but the rooms they walked into reminded them of the opposite. They weren't needed. They weren't the stars. They weren't the draw. And the painful truth? They weren't even the scandal people were whispering about. The curiosity is gone. The sympathy is gone. The mystique is gone. And what's left is a kind of quiet Hollywood exile that no PR spin can fully fix. They chased a glittering world they thought would adore them forever, but now that world is closing its arms, tightening its circles, and guarding its cameras. And for Meghan and Harry, who have fought so hard to be seen, the growing invisibility might be the most brutal twist yet.